Hello. Um, it's really gorgeous today. The birds are talking. It's so sweet. But let me get rid of my bubble gum because that's bad manners right now. So yeah, I am here to kind of talk about some dreams that I had. Okay. Um, they didn't happen necessarily close together, but I will tell them in the order that I had them. Okay. Um, My cat is trying her hardest to get out here. So if you hear any little random like soft knocking in the background, anyways. So the first dream, because I've been playing the game a lot, my brain subconsciously kind of like used that to portray whatever the message is. But ultimately, my character was just like running along the beach, and all of a sudden blood was just gushing from everywhere. Like gushing. Like it wasn't like a little spill, like it was like a flood. Okay. That dream was very short. The next dream, I'm not even gonna go into interpreting or anything. I'm gonna let the birds sing on that one. Thank you, Lord. I also want to say that anything I say here, I have prayed about it. And I would also encourage you, if you are listening, to take it back to God yourself. Okay? Now she's doing the sad meows, Lord. The second dream I'm going to talk about is okay, I was in a supermarket. So I was brought to this supermarket by a male. I don't know who the person is, but they took me to this supermarket, and I remember like he's showing me something. But I'm also like observing, and it's full. Okay, a lot of people are in the supermarket now. Where I was standing kind of like the produce section where the fruits and vegetables are, and I had a view of like a few of the aisles, like an open section, but a view of the aisles. And like the back was like the fridge section, and of course there's the lights in the fridge, but the like the aisle itself was kind of dark. And then where the actual like where the aisles are now, not the back row, where the aisles are, the lights are kind of on and off and on and off. Okay, the shelves are stacked. Where I'm standing with the produce is like the light is shining kind of, and like everything looks healthy. Boy, driver. But yeah. And another thing is people are walking around busy, but they're not shopping for anything. Okay. And I've noticed that some of the people were like almost trying to come closer to where me and the man were standing, but they were trying to like not make it obvious. And it came to the point where close to me, almost like to the point where you can't deny like you're right there. Her facial expression though was one of like disgust, like disdain, anger, like hatred. Like I was appalled, not appalled, but like surprised that this was her expression. Nonetheless, I greeted her, I said, hey, with, how are you, like, I'm good, how are you? She said, I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was a short greeting. And then that dream kind of, I guess my interpretation or what I imagined it meant was you cannot have a heart of unforgiveness. You can't just, I get that we can be angry, like God gave us emotions for a reason. Like one of my favorite movies is Inside Out. It's a Pixar movie. Pixar? Disney, whatever. It's a animated movie, and it's about this little girl that has all these emotions. Like, everybody has them. Like, it portrays that everybody has these emotions, and they're in the brain, and they're really, some of them really take over the situation, and you see that in how the person acts in the real life situation. The cat is going on very bad in a daddy. One part of me wants to go and open the door, and the other part of me is like, sit still. Because you know why? When I was in vet school, I learned that sometimes it's best to give the owners the message before the patient comes back into the room. Because sometimes, like at discharge, if it's a surgical patient or a patient that was hospitalized, you may have stuff to talk about with the owner, good and bad, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you just have stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Or regular. And when they're in the room with the pet, sometimes they're very distracted. They're happy to see their pet, or maybe they're concerned about them, they're worried, or they're just, that's where their focus is. And I get it, but then they miss a lot of the important key points, and then they go home and then they're like, wait, what do we do now? And we're supposed to give them like their discharge instructions and stuff like that to make sure they kind of know what they're supposed to do. But like sometimes if you can help to minimize distractions, do so. So honestly, with that, I'm gonna just kind of let her marinate for now. My interpretation was that you cannot have a heart of unforgiveness, because then God cannot forgive you. I think it applies for everybody, including myself. Sometimes somebody may have done something or said something that we took to our heart, and even if it don't show on our face how we feel, we're harboring it in our heart. You know what I mean? And sometimes it can come out of our mouth and defile us, unfortunately. And other times we let it sit there and cook, and then it shows in how we treat that person, things that we talk about, we say about that person, and it is hard to tame the tongue. Like, look it up. So whatever it is, just take it to God and pray that He'll allow you to go through your process, whatever it is, so that when Judgment Day comes, He's not like, well, that grudge you was holding on for, you know what I mean? Anyways, moving right along. Dream number 3. The men in the sky. Now, I don't want to really call them men, but I did have a dream that I saw these 2 men, and they were in the clouds, and they were standing on these sheets, like these big rectangular sheets. They were like grayed out, kind of, and I don't know if I was on the cloud, if I was in the clouds too, or if I was on Earth, but literally, like, I felt like they were angels. The next part of that dream is like one of them was face to face with me, but that same gray sheet that he was holding, like, sorry, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's the cat distracting me or the devil trying to interrupt my message, because I gotta talk because a long time I hold on to it. And so yeah, Lord, filter my words. Anything that I'm supposed to say, let it be said. I don't want to withhold anything. I just want to. So yeah, he was face to face with me, and the same gray sheet that we're standing on, it seems like he was holding it up in front of his face. So like I couldn't see all of his face, and he was like grayed out, like I don't. Or just bright or something, like whatever it was, I couldn't distinguish him as a person. And in that moment, it made me feel like he didn't say a word. You know what I mean? Like he just was standing there. I couldn't see anything from the neck down. I could just see his face. And it almost reminded me of like being in ophthalmology, like on that rotation in school, like when you're looking into your patient's eyes very closely and you're up close with that patient, you know what I mean? Eye to eye. So it made me feel like I'm being watched, but I'm also like, that dream made me feel like I'm being watched, but being watched over by something greater than me. It made me feel like they're among us. And you know, some people really believe strongly that angels are among us, and some people have a hard time believing that. One thing me know say God is real. So, you know, I just wanted to share these dreams. I'm not coming with a deep interpretation. I share the interpretations because the one about the supermarket, you know, what could that mean? You know, is that supermarket limbo? Is it hell? All these people, were they lost souls just kind of walking around? Because they weren't shopping in this packed supermarket. But then the lighting was off, you know? So I had my interpretation, and that's just mine. So yeah, I hope this video finds you in a place of peace and rest in the Lord. He is amazing, and he'll keep us safe. He is that sanctuary. You know what I mean? He's that fortress. So yeah. God first, love always. Bye.